We got a start to the Monday. Poop howdy from Jace. Poop howdy to you, my friend. How are you? Excellent Monday workout. Starting the week off with some positivity and some love from our friend Jace. Our friend Kayla Bill. Sorry, guys. There we go. Is still up alive. I shared her out. I shared Jace out. I shared Runner Boy out. I believe Runner Boy is done with his workout. So we are going to read from A Course in Miracles all the way back to lesson 24. I'm going to give it a minute before I do, though. This is an interesting one. This is one that people might have some difficulty with. No one particularly likes to hear the truth. You know that? And this will tell you why. Lesson 24 will tell you why we don't like hearing the truth. Timo's here. Timo, my friend. How are you? Timo and Jace, both here. Two of my all-time favorite people. All right. We got 3 people hanging out. I can always reread the lesson. More people show up. Lesson 24 says, this is from A Course in Miracles. Remember, A Course has a textbook, as well as a workbook and a manual for teachers. We are all teachers of one thing. We teach love. We teach only love. However, how we teach is entirely up to where we are within our heart, within our mind. Are we demonstrating love? Are we demonstrating fear? Are we teaching love, or are we teaching fear? Might be the only choice we actually have, guys. Today is Bax's 2nd birthday. Happy birthday to Bax. I hope there's going to be a birthday live stream. So lesson 24 says, I do not perceive my own best interest. Well, that sort of sucks. I don't perceive my own best interest. And of course, we might argue that. We probably will. The ego is going to rebel. Say, of course I know. No one knows my own best interest better than me. However, that's the egoic perspective. The ego is always wrong. Always wrong. Why? Because the ego is small, it's limited. It keeps us trapped into small and limited interest. We build this tiny, tiny, tiny little home, when in reality, we live in a castle. Let go of that small picture of a home and live in a castle. So here we go. In no situation that arises do you realize the outcome that would make you happy. Therefore, you have no guide to appropriate action and no way of judging the results. What you do is determined by your perception of the situation. And that perception is wrong. It is inevitable, then, that you will not serve your own best interest. Yet they are your only goal in any situation which is correctly perceived. Otherwise, you would not recognize what they are. This means that what I love in this statement, what you do is determined by your perception of the situation. And our perception, hey Ash, our perception is always on the surface. We don't see deeper. We see our perceptions through our attachments, our aversions, our fear, and our limited belief that we are small, separate beings, separate from the source, separate from each other, separate from love, which isn't true. So what the Course is saying, that if we correct that, If we see, and all we have to do is realize that we are seeing from a limited perspective. We don't know everything. We don't know everything. And then we start to perceive our own best interest because we extend love. Sometimes our true own best interest might be to remove ourselves from a situation, lovingly so. Let's see, DK says, feel like watching lecture. Well, I like to think of it as less of a lecture and more of a conversation. Um, Course goes on and says, if you realize that you do not perceive your own best interest, you could be taught what they are. Our own best interest is to always forgive. Forgiveness is an expression of love. Sometimes forgiving, again, is to remove ourselves from a situation, is to send someone love and lovingly step away. Doesn't mean we always have to be involved. Doesn't mean that we have to dive into drama and try to make it better. The thing is, all we can do is work on our own perceptions. We heal our own perceptions, and so we see a healed world. Optimop's going to be right back. If we always dive into the busyness, if we dive into every drama, if we dive into every situation thinking, I'm here to make things better, we get mirrored, we get stuck in that situation. When we say, I do not perceive my own best interest, we're asking for a miracle of a change of our perception. Can I see things differently? Can I see my perceptions more clearly? Goes on, but in the presence of your own conviction that you do know what they are, you cannot learn. The idea for today is to step forward, opening your mind so that learning can begin. We'll probably repeat that in a minute. Let's dive into the chat real quick. So, Ash, how are you? Sabine is here. Sabine, my friend, how are you? Jace says, EK, it's an open chat. Absolutely. Jace says, good morning to Sabine. Vinny says, I'm trying to get information out there, but they keep shutting me down. All the symbols are the same. Electrical symbols, magnetic symbols, astrological symbols make the connections crazy. Interesting. You know, in A Course in Miracles, it says that everything in and of the world is a symbol of a symbol twice removed, not the actuality. We don't see trees. We see a description of trees that we've been given from day one. We see a label of a tree. Same with birds, same with airplanes, same with clouds, same with each other. We don't see each other. If I see you, I see the entire story of you. I see the drama of you. I see the labels of you. How can I forgive labels? How can I forgive a description that I'm holding tightly to? I can't. But if I let go of all those convictions, if I let go of the symbol of you, and I see the original innocence of you, it's already forgiven. Which means I see you in new light. I see you in the lens of love. I only see you as you are, truly, truly are. Movie says, old movie fan says, how y'all doing? I'm doing good. Old movie fan. What do you think of the movie Harvey? Jimmy Stewart. Jason's waving to Vinny and to movie fan. Carlos says, hello, what's live about? Right now, talking about perception, clear perception, how we can clear up our perception of the world to actually live in the world. The only way we can do that is to forgive our perceptions so that we can go to the source, which is our projections, and we heal the projections and we return to a loving world. Jace waves to Carlos. Creepy breadstick. That does not sound like a good breadstick. I would not order that at Olive Garden. Jay says, poopy, poopy howdy. That made me laugh. We do not hear that often, do we? Poopy howdy. We get a poop howdy, but we don't get a poopy howdy. Poopy says hello. PAC says, username goes hard. Maybe. Poopy says, salutations. Salutations to you, my friend. Carlos says, putting my weed out for this one. Let's see. Gamer says, no, it's water white. Well, it would have been funnier. Would have been funnier had we gotten it right the first time, my friend. Actually, would have been funnier if you were the very first one to ever say that to me. However, you are about the 975th person to say that on my live streams. So I give you a 10 for effort, 4.5 on creativity, but the future is wide open to give it another try. Who do you got for me? Don't say Moby, heard it. Don't say Michael Stripe, I've heard it, but not that often. Jay says, Jeremy, I'm another Walter. We need a Walter Club. We need a t-shirt that says, I'm another Walter. Jay says, Pack. Hey, Pack. C Mania says, English or Spanish. And I'm supposed to do something when I read that. And then the first one, I think I'm supposed to freeze or something. But, you know, you got other people to do that. Jay says, C main. Poopy says, that's the goal of the name, just to make someone laugh. And you did. Excellent job, my friend. Much appreciated. It's 5:10 in the morning. If you can make someone laugh, and you and Jace did, if you can make someone laugh at 5:10 in the morning, that means, man, you started my day off on such a positive stream. Honestly, though, I've been up for about 2.5, almost 3 hours. My day started with breath work, meditation, yoga, coffee, and writing, and then you guys. But it continued with a laugh. Much appreciated. Jay says, Poopy, we have a daily greeting of Poop Howdy. It's a long story. It is a long story. But you know what? It is no accident that our friend Poopy Breadstick is here. Poopy says, oh, that's great. That's a coincidence. And we have a good friend who visits us, whose channel's name is Mr. Poopinator. Jay says, hi, Speed. I did send earlier. Speed says, sorry, I was distracted and had a phone call coming in. That's okay. Poopy says, sounds like a strong morning. Good for you. Thank you. This is the way my morning starts every single day. Never wavers. If it does, it's because, you know, something came up. I just connected with you, Poopy. I will never stop smiling when I say, hey, Poopy, just connected with you, Poopy. What's up, Poopy? What's up, Poopy? Sabine says, yes, Jace. I saw it as soon as I managed to come back into the chat. Let's see. Patrol Gaming. Patrol Gaming. I know I got that completely wrong. Potalin Gaming says balls. Like volleyball, basketball, baseball. What other kind of balls do we got? Football. How can I figure out football? Football's starting this week, right? Sunday? Next Sunday? Don't know. Paddle and Gaming says, yep. Hey, our friend George is here. Saludos from San Francisco. Jace says, another young one, Yogi. Thank you, Jace. Smith says, so everyone, hope you're doing fine. Butterball Gaming subbed. Appreciate that, my friend. Greetings to you, George. We're going to talk for maybe 10 more minutes. Get outside, start my work early. I'm doing an experiment with a camera. Gotta admit, I don't like doing the nature filming with my infrared camera that much. It's harder to upload. The films aren't as good. They're interesting, but I got a really powerful flashlight and my other little camera, so I'm going to try to combine the two, see how it works. So, we covered lesson 124, Course in Miracles. I do not perceive my own best interest. That might be a controversial stance. How can I not perceive my own best interest? If I don't, who does? That's a good question. Here's who does. God perceives your own best interest. Not your concept of God, not the label of God, but the allness, the isness, the everythingness, the lovingness that is our true nature, which is God. What we perceive is our limited capacity. We perceive our own best interest in the ego, which is always saying what George Harrison said, I, me, mine, I, me, mine. What's in it for me? What do I get out of this? How do I hide my own selfish thoughts and desires so that it seems like I'm doing good stuff, but I only want what's best for me? That's the ego. Here's the good news. You are not the ego. The ego doesn't really exist. It's a collection of thoughts that we hold so closely and hold dearly. We've given it an identity. We call it us. We call it me. We call it I. However, everything proceeds from I am. I am. And then we give it a description. I am American. I am Eric. I am Eric McCarty. I am 5'9". I am wearing glasses. I am white. I am bald. I am this. I am that. I am, and everything proceeds. But in original innocence, there is just I am. If we could see from that perspective, we wouldn't have any problems. We would always perceive our own best interest. And our own best interest is to always offer love. It's to always forgive. It's to always extend ourselves in love. However, that doesn't mean that we always have to be involved in every drama, every story, every situation. Sometimes to extend ourselves in love means healing from what seems like a distance, sending prayers, sending thoughts, sending love. Doesn't mean that we need to entwine ourselves. We can't fix drama by adding drama. We can't fix a hateful situation by adding hate. We can't fix anything unless our hearts are steeped in the original essence of love. And sometimes the best way to do that is to seemingly remove ourselves from a situation, let it go, offer it love, offer everyone involved love, to keep sending love, but that doesn't mean that we need to be right in the midst of it. I think that's important to remember. In these days, political days, YouTube days, all these days. Sabine, very, very rightly, very lovingly, very Sabine-like, because Sabine's a loving person, says, just sending some love and light to the whole world. It's been much needed, so much. Absolutely, my friend. Jace joins in. We're all joining in. Poopy Breadstick says, what are some positive things I can think about when I wake up in the morning? I'm going to give you one. It only takes one. Eckhart, Meister Eckhart, the great German Christian mystic, said, and remember when we say mystic, it means he might have been Christian, but a mystic transcends all religious thoughts and goes straight to the truth that is inherent in every tradition. He had said that if the only prayer we ever say is thank you, that would be enough. If you wake up in the morning and the first thing that you think is thank you, thank you, thank you, the world will give you everything to be thankful for. It will reveal all of that in which to be grateful for. And we start seeing that even what seems like a less than positive moment is indeed something to be grateful for, because we get to learn to be grateful. We get to learn to be loving. We get to learn to forgive. When I started doing this 30 years ago, it was just a practice. I had to remind myself. I didn't always feel grateful. But nowadays, I wake up, my eyes open, and I say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And the world reveals itself to me. The morning reveals itself to me in all of its lovingness, in all of its glory, in all of its awesomeness. I am granted an entire universe through no effort of my own. I am granted a body that works, that is functioning, that gets to work out later today, that gets to sit and meditate. I'm granted friends that I can come here and have a conversation with. I am granted the technology to connect with my friends Sabine and Jace, Timo, and Poopy Breadstick. I am granted a friend who chose to give his channel a name, Poopy Breadstick, just so he can make people laugh and smile. Man, I got tons to be grateful for. When I come back from my walk, just a few minutes, I'm going to make myself a bowl of oatmeal. I am thankful for the oats and the bananas and the walnuts, the blueberries that will go in all of that. I am thankful for the farmers that brought all that. I'm thankful for the rain, for the sun, for the truck drivers that brought it to the store, to the person who sold it to me. All of it. How can I not be thankful? So when I wake up, thank you, thank you, thank you. Everything else will come from that. Speed says, that's exactly what I just wrote. Sabine says, well, Sabine and Jason and I, the three of us. Let's see. Sabine says, Poopy, give thanks that you have another new day ahead given to you by God. Absolutely. Every day that we are allowed to wake up again is a big gift that we all should appreciate so much. Beautifully said. Beautifully said, Sabine. Sabine says, we just eat oatmeal. Yeah, I like to add stuff to mine. I like to get my blueberries and bananas. What's our breakfast? Every day for me. Jay says, I normally thank the kettle when it's boiled, as I know the coffee will soon hit my lips. Me too. I my coffee, I boil water. Um, I do my standing yoga practice, and then I turn the water on, and I go back and I do my lying yoga practice. And I know that I have, it's about 14 minutes it takes the water to boil. I know that my yoga practice finishes up 14 minutes. I hear that water boil, and I give thanks. I have 1 cup of coffee a day, so I'm really thankful for that 1 cup a day. Poopy says, so powerful and only 2 words. Absolutely. Only 2 words. Jay says, I just thought the same. I am not surprised. So often, we link up like that. And it's amazing, and it's so, I love the word awesome. Awe. AWE. It's just amazing. Poopy says, sometimes the answer is so simple, but it's hard to see. 100%, my friend, you nailed it. Smith says, that is my need. Thanks. You're welcome, my friend. This is why I'll tie what Poopy said to the lesson 24. I do not perceive my own best interest. Our own best interests always come from love, always comes from God. And again, when I say God, I'm not talking, I could say the Tao, I could say Krishna, Shiva, Brahma, I could say Allah. It's all the same. They're just stories of God. They are not God. This is why in the Tao Te Ching, it starts with the Tao that can be told is not the true Tao. So we do not perceive our own best interests because we are always concerned with the smallness of the day. But think about all the stuff that's given us. Your next breath isn't guaranteed, yet we take it for granted. Every breath is a gift. Imagine just for a second we paused through the course of the day and said, thank you for that one breath. It didn't have to happen, but for some reason it did. If we know that every breath, every heartbeat is a gift, are we going to waste it with pettiness? Are we going to waste it with a debate? Are we going to waste it with an argument? Are we going to waste it with a grievance, a resentment, or a judgment? We could let all that go because it's just a thought. The only thing that isn't a thought is love. Love is. Everything else is just a thought. As Shakespeare said, nothing is, or if our friend Squirrel Sniper is watching, maybe Sir Francis Bacon, nothing is good nor bad less thinking makes it so. A thought just is, but we lend it meaning. And with that meaning, we create the world. And look at the world that we created. Are you happy with it? Or would you like to live in a better world? Because you can by having better thoughts. If you have the thought of thank you, and I'll tell you one more thing that I'm grateful for. I am thankful for my friend Goga, who is here gracing me in the morning. Goga did not have to be here, but he chose to be. Gave me a gift. Jace has given me a gift. Sabine has given me a gift. Poopy has given me a gift. George has given me a gift as well. Thank you, guys. Jace, Goga, how are you, my friend? Powerful live stream yesterday. So powerful. I'm going to bring it back up later today and go through it again. You also want to make sure that I share it out again. I shared it when it was live, but I want to share it again because it has such a powerful message. Guys, are you hooked up with Goga? Please do so. Goga is a yogi who is on a mission to change the world through his positive nature. Infectious. Some might say demure, but there is nothing demure about Goga because he is immense. He's full of love. Just thought I'd slip that in there. Let's see. Jace says, something in transition today, Yogi. Thank you, Jace. I'm going to be on the lookout. I'd love to see how that translates to what I'm able to capture with my camera. Yoga says, you're up early. Happy new month. Happy new month to you. I just mentioned I'm up every morning at 2:30. Actually, I'm up every morning at 2:27. Why 2:27? I have no idea. No idea. My eyes just open up 2:27. So I'm up. I say my thank you prayer. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I do my breath work. Every morning I do the breath of fire. I meditate. I do my yoga asana. I get my 1 cup of coffee. I write. I've written every day without missing a day for 25 plus years. Go. Jay says, I had a sub, reconnected. It unconnected. I'm glad you reconnected. Goga says, thank you, Yogi. And he says, demure with laughing emojis. I had to fit it in there. Ryan says, greetings, Yogi. Greetings to you, my friend. Josh is here. Josh says, hello. Hello, Josh. Ryan, how's your training going? Poopy says, what time do you slumber? I go to bed about 7:30. Get about 7 hours of sleep a night. 7.5 hours on a good night. I try to, I'm not so much concerned with the length of my sleep as I am with the quality. So I take steps to make sure the quality is good. Waking up early is one of those things that help. It keeps me in the circadian cycle. And then I get outside and I walk early as possible to get sunlight. There's so much value in getting sunlight to the eyes early in the morning because it connects us to the world. It connects us to the circadian cycle. It produces serotonin, adrenaline, and neuroephedrine, which are just in just the right combinations to get us going for the day, as does our upbeat breath work, breath of fire, or bellows breathing, producing those hormones. A lot of people think, well, those are stress hormones. They can't be good for you. They are good in the right quantities and produced in the right way. What we don't want to be is always in that state. So we allow the breath, we allow the sunlight to bring us into that state of mind, that energetic state. And then through the course of the day, those hormones begin to die off. And the raw material is used to produce serotonin and melatonin, which are the rest and relax hormones that we need to get to sleep. So no stress, no calm. Stress isn't bad. It's that constant high level of stress that we never, or low level of stress that we never realize we're going through. So we use our breath throughout the day to help us reconnect. How am I feeling? How am I breathing? Am I nasal breathing? Am I tense? Are my shoulders tense? My neck tense? Is my brow furrowed? Am I clenching my jaw? Check in with the body and use the breath to relax. And then, if we can get out a little more sunlight before we go to bed, just a little bit, not right before we go to bed, 1 or 2 hours, just to help unwind. We do breath work to help us sleep, extending the exhalation. Ryan says, going really good. I did a back and bifocus lift with a leg pump tonight. Looking to squat again Tuesday. Nice. Winding down for NFL fantasy draft tomorrow. Good luck on your draft. It's an important day. How you draft tomorrow carries you through the entirety of the season. I have many friends who participate in the fantasy football. They have a blast. It's a highlight of the year sometimes. So, guys, it is time for me to get outside and walk. It's a fun conversation. I appreciate y'all joining me. My 5 a.m. live streams are my favorite. They're my favorite because they're quiet. Just the right people show up. I just love him. That's all I can say. Jace says, have a great day. Thank you, Jace. I'm going to see you later today. Sabine says, okay, everyone. It was a pleasure. It was my pleasure to be with you all. Take care. It was our pleasure to have you here, Sabine. As always, thank you for your positive message. Creepy says, thanks, everyone. Have a lovely day. You too, my friend. Thank you for joining. Ryan says, get that sunlight in, brother. Thank you, Ryan. Good luck on your draft tomorrow. Sabine says, have a great day. Gone says, Running Boy is still alive. Is he still alive? Awesome. Guys, make sure you check him out. I shared his link. Josh says, bye. Take care, Josh. Hey, Gone, thank you for that information. Take care, guys. Goga, thank you again for being here. Make sure you check out his latest live stream. Make sure you connect. Gotta support those people who are putting that love and quality. Optimum, which is Timo and Sabine, and Bax, Jace, all of you guys. Goga. Thanks, guys.